start. If somebody gonna join, please join now because I'm gonna introduce our last speaker for the afternoon session. It's a very honored speaker. We're very happy to have him here in St. Petersburg. It's Professor Chao Tat-Sen. He is representing National University of Singapore. He was the founding dean of School of Computing at National University of Singapore. Now he is leading the lab on media research at the same university, and this consists of over 40 PhD students, research assistant, research associate, and research fellow, as well as some professors. Except this, he is founding the so-called Next Research Center, the multi-million-dollar founding, and it's covered the joint research collaboration with University of Singapore and Tsinghua University in China. And except this, Prof. Chua is founder of several startups available multimedia retrieval, and he's got a very big experience in all the joint fields as well. So his main interests includes multimedia retrieval, question answering, machine learning, the topic models, and many related fields. I guess everybody will have something interesting to discuss with him after the lecture. So let's put our hands together.
Thanks for the introduction. Yeah. So I try to stand a bit here so I don't drop the screen. Yeah. So as introduced, I'm Chao Tat-Sen. So my new research area, I used to do multimedia retrieval, image video retrieval, then I move on to text and NLP. And now because of the two combined, so I'm doing a lot of social media. So he just talked about the lab. Actually the lab is called the NEXT. NEXT stands for NUS Tsinghua Center for Research. So this lab right now is focusing more on social media, but actually half of the people actually they're doing video retrieval, text retrieval, and the other half is doing social media kind of research. Yeah. So this is what I will be talking about. I think I noticed a lot of faces are new, so I think actually I'll show the demo again. Yesterday's demo. I'll show you a live observatory system that we have built based on the research. So actually part of the operation of the lab is that we have researchers working on research topics, and I have an engineering team of 4 to 5 people. They will put all the research output together into a live working system, and then with this system actually we use it to actually do kind of more advanced applications and so on. And as Alex has said, we have set up 2 companies under the research center. So I'll talk a bit about technologies behind, and I'll spend a lot of time talking about multimedia. I guess probably you've heard a lot about text, so I will talk more about some of the applications in multimedia. And then I'll talk a bit about next generation challenges and a bit of related research. Okay, so I guess this is the picture we're at. We are at the center of the so-called new wave of information technologies, whereby we are actually regularly bombarded by information generated from all these social media sites. I guess in outside will be Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, I guess Instagram. I think these are all the popular sites in Singapore. Flickr, I guess most of us who do research will know Flickr. Foursquare. And more recently, I guess we see a lot more of sensors, other various kinds of sensors, and of course mobile phone. Everybody has a mobile phone actually. I noticed on the street of St. Petersburg, actually there's no difference between St. Petersburg and Singapore and any other big cities, where people are just constantly looking at their mobile phone, doing something. Right. So in fact, this is the part that generates the most. In fact, most people will access their information through their mobile phone. So actually, 2 days ago we were talking about privacy. Actually, who knows most about us? Actually, it's not it's not Google, it's not Facebook. Actually, the people who know most about us is the telecommunication company where you have your mobile phone. Because they know exactly when you log on to Facebook, when you send a tweet, when you check in and things like that. And also when you receive a call. So actually, they are the ones who actually know the most about the user. But of course, they are bounded by law and some privacy rule of not releasing a lot of this information. So in terms of social media, the usage-wise, I guess most of us use it for communication purposes. Because I think the reason we go to social media is that we want to communicate. In fact, a lot of us started with, SMS, so WhatsApp, WeChat, that kind of thing, actually is purely a communication tool. So through here we can share, interact, keep up to date with friends. And of course, over the years, people use it as a platform to express their views. Right? You hear about views, you want to reply to them. And increasingly, people are using the social media network as a form of self-preservation. I think through social network, I want to know about how my friends are doing, how much exercise they do, why he's more healthy than me, and things like that. And through that, actually motivates each other to do certain things, good or bad, I guess, mostly for the good, I guess. And of course, the local communities. From the platform provider's point of view, of course, they want to attract and retain users. Actually, the more user you have, the more valuable your company is. So in order to do that, they will have to provide very innovative systems, like your VK, Facebook, that kind of thing. They have to make a system very interesting. Make you feel that it's valuable. Make you feel that, I think a social media network is successful if you wake up first thing in the morning, you think that I must log on to see what is the latest information. If they can achieve that, then they are very successful. So actually, from the point of view, in the old days, broadcast media, they create information, right? Because they create information, the information is being filtered by someone. Someone thinks that this information is good for you, someone thinks that this information you want to know. So they filter it and then publish it. That's in the old days. Whereas in the social media space, there's no one creating information. Actually, the Facebook, Google, VK, they don't provide information at all, right? They don't generate information. All the informations are created by the users. So I guess if the information is created by users, there's no way that you can filter it. So basically, the paradigm is actually shifted. User will just publish whatever they want, and at some point somebody try to organize them, or I don't know, maybe it's harder now to basically censor them. So basically, you publish first, somebody try to figure out how to organize them so that you can get the information you want. And the platforms do not create the content. All the contents are created by the users. So in fact, that's a key point. So this leads to three sources of information. I guess you have the user-generated content, which is huge. Because every day, everybody is taking photos, taking videos, sharing information, commenting on someone else, post, even just I like kind of post, I think there's a lot of information there. Second kind is device-generated content. I guess your mobile phone is actually sending out location information all the time. Storing location information all the time. For example, on iPhone, you can look back, say, a week ago, when did I go, and things like that. These are all stored in your phone. In the past, I think they sent to Apple headquarters somewhere, but I guess nowadays they need you to have a user agreement before they can do that. And of course, the rest are structured content. Right? So actually, there are lots of information being generated here. These are all from this source. And of course, this source is even bigger. There are a huge amount of information being stored, and these are all signals. It's all the data and signals which is need to be explored. Okay, so just a bit of a center. I think the center, just now we mentioned, is a center created to basically do research on extreme search. Yeah. Started in May 2010 with a 10 million grant from Singapore 10 million, which is about $8 million US for 5 years. And we are expected it to be continued in the next 5 years with bigger grants. So the vision is basically to access live information that is not available on the web. So in our interpretation, there will be the live social media data. That's why our focus is. And so we, right from day one, I think we focus on gathering information. So we build technologies to gather information and then analyze the information. So for example, if I key the keyword on St. Petersburg, there could be hundreds of thousands of posts about St. Petersburg. So one key task is basically to organize them into different subtopics that people talk about. Right? So with different subtopics, then I can present it in a structured way to the user. And of course, most of the information are text, and increasingly there are a lot more information in video, in images, and so I have a handle. And once I can do that, I will know the users. In fact, the key part of our social media is the users. So I need to know who are the ones who actually post about St. Petersburg, who are their friends, who are the ones who react to that. And from there, I want to know what entities they talk about, what sub-events they talk about, and then I can actually organize them to figure out the relationship between all these entities. So actually, the key part about social media research, I can summarize it in this slide, is basically, first of all, I want to structuralize the contents. Secondly, I want to know the relationship between users, between events, sub-events, between entities, and so on. So that from which the user can get a good view about the activities. And entities can be anything. I mean, I can be talking about St. Petersburg, I can be talking about the Winter Gardens, Winter Palace of St. Petersburg. I can be talking about the ballet we watched last night. Right? So there could be different things at different levels. Okay, so here I'll just, I think for those who are new here, I'll just show you a quick demo of our systems. Okay, so this is one example of the types of, so it can be an election of Singapore, different political parties, can be an entertainment show, can be the movies, can be a car, maybe the sales of car in Russia or in China, can be politicians. So yesterday I showed the politicians, so today I showed the movies. So for example, I don't know how many of you have seen this movie, Transformer or Maleficent. Maybe I showed it on Maleficent, I think. So we divide them into weeks. So for example, on the March week, so you can say, yeah, how many posts are there about these movies? Yeah, what do people talk about this movie on this day? Their opinions of this movie, good or bad? What are the entities appearing in these movies? Because for every post we have, we will try to figure out the entities. So I guess you look at people. So there are three types of entities. Organization, person, and location. These are the default entities. Right? Of course, you can do more. So I guess the key entities for this movie, I guess everybody watches this movie because of this lady, I guess, Angelina Jolie. Anyway, I didn't watch this movie, but so this movie is basically anchored by one actress, that's all. Then you can say what do people talk about her, and so on. And just what I talked about, so you got lots of posts, you want to know what subtopic people talk about this person. So TV shots, maybe Maleficent official release, or maybe I just click on one of them. So this one, these are all the posts on these subtopics that people talk about, as well as the feature they share. Right. And then finally, you can look at the user engagement. What are the hot keywords? What are the hot images? Images will take a while. These are the hot images. So for each image, you can see how many people post about this and so on. And what about hot hashtag? Who sent out these hashtags and things like that. And finally, the standard one is to say who are the Of course, I can do the same thing with other movies. I deleted it. Okay, this is back. So I can also look at other movies. For example, the movie that was launching at the same time. In fact, we were asked by Disney to track this for them. The movie that was launching at the same time is called Transformer. Transformer is by Sony. This movie is by Disney, so they want to know how their movie compares. Right. So you can track the same thing on the same week, and then to know what subtopics people talk about. Yeah. So you can see these are the subtopics, these are the entities, and so on. Yeah. Of course, we can also track in different languages. So the English one represents the audience outside China. If we look at the Chinese version, which is based on Chinese social media, then this will be about entities in China. So Ben Xinjiang is actually Transformer, this is China, and so on. Right. So again, you can look at any of them. So the organization, the location. So the movie is actually shot in Chongqing City, right? So you can actually have a click there, what are the shots about this, and so on. Okay, so if I have information about this movie and other movies in different languages, then actually I can generate a report. So for example, in the movie, I can generate a report, say, based on week number 12. I can see how the movie is being compared. These are the Transformer, number of popularity of Transformer, popularity of Maleficent in Twitter, which is in English, outside the world, outside China. And these are in Chinese. So this is the popularity of Transformer, this is the popularity of Maleficent. So actually one shot you can know in which country this movie is popular by just looking at social engagements. Right. And you can actually compare the entities, what are the hot topics around these movies. From here you can know why people like these movies. Right. And what are the hot entities. And in fact, we can also look at who are the influential users, local, kind of individual influential user or organizational influential user. The age group of the user, by doing demography analysis, we can estimate the age profile of the users, the gender, male or female, and also the hot images and so on. Yeah. So I think I'll just stop here first and then quickly get back to the So, I better watch my time, and I tend to go over time. So these are what I've shown you. These are the report. So the key part is about events, topics, and users and their relationship. And in fact, if you talk about social media analysis, I think most of the people actually want to know about users and the relationship. What are the interests of the users? What are the interests of users of different entities and so on. So in terms of technology, as part of key challenges, we decided actually 5 years ago when we started this project, we would like to focus on live big data in 3N. 3N is multimedia, multilingual, and multi-source. So exactly what they are. So if we get back to this one, what is big data? I suppose everybody knows about this one. Big data is about volume. And in fact, the part of the big data actually is not about volume, but actually it's a fast growing volume. The dynamic part of the volume that actually is a challenge. Variety, you have text, images, video, and documents, so which is very transparent in social media. Actually, we should add in location info, user. User actually is one key element of social media. Velocity, For any hot events, the data actually comes in very, very fast. And unless you crawl the data line, actually there are lots of studies shows that even on Twitter, if you don't crawl the data line, you only get about 1/6 of the data because Twitter or Google doesn't index everything. Anything they think that is not important, they don't index it. And the value. Through here, you can actually do trend analysis, heat analytics, and so on. Actually, the key part I want to emphasize is the big data is actually not about big. The difficult part of big data is about life. Actually, how do you handle live big data is a challenge. I think if it's static, I think there are lots of people can do it. And so we want to do is basically we want to handle data online live. So the key part is about gathering, filtering of data, but not in the old paradigm where you store, sample, and then search. Right? In the social media, when data are coming in live, you actually have to do gathering and filtering at the same time. And then with the feedback and react. Okay. So the key technologies here are basically how do you handle live data, multi-modal data, multilingual events, prediction, prescription, and the whole thing of course has to be fully automated. So in terms of live event, I guess what we want to know is what is going on, whether or not who is involved, where are the users, what do users do, what do they share, and so on. And the main challenges of course is the huge amount of data, everything is dynamic, even the keyword is dynamic, the user community is dynamic, and so on. So how do you handle the dynamic parts is a key part. So the first issue I want to talk about is basically information gathering. What are the issues here? In fact, how to deal with live and dynamic data. So the key part is, before you can do any analysis, you must gather them. And of course, if you rely on Google, Twitter API, Google API, and things like that, you will not get a lot of data. Actually, you're going to crawl it live. In fact, as I mentioned here, study shows that there will be 6 times more data if you crawl in real time versus you crawl it in the stock format. Yeah. So the first source of data that most naturally you look at is if I ask to track a movie. The first source is actually all the accounts used by the movie. Any known entity, they will have lots of social media accounts. So for example, Vodafone Australia, if you go there, they have a Twitter account, they have the followers, number of followees, and things like the number of posts they do, and all the information are there. So first is basically to call this one to know that what this organization wants the user to know. And you can consider this as relevant info. Second source will be the keywords. I think most people gather information based on keywords. Supposing I want to call transformer, my keyword will be transformer. I don't know, maybe there are other keywords. I think. So you started with 10 keywords, maybe the actor, actresses, Sony, and things like that. But of course, the key part about social media is that social media is actually a conversational media. Right? When I talk to you, I don't repeat the same words in every sentences. And as we talk, the topic shifted, the vocabulary also changed. Right. So the key part is actually to how to generate dynamic keywords to address the dynamic vocabulary issue. So in NLP terms or IR terms, basically you need to figure out how to do keyword suggestion, how to do keyword expansion, and other technologies based on relevant semi-relevant data that we have so far. Third source of course is user. You need to do user analysis to know who are the key users, who are the active users. And of course you need to remove those robot users. And these key users who are active now are likely to send a lot of relevant posts. So you need to crawl everything from these key users. If you combine all this together, you look at dynamic keywords, look at account, look at key users. You can also look at location, you can also look at multimedia, because a lot of posts are in multimedia now. And so in this approach, you hope to gather more representative data. In fact, the key part about data gathering is that you need to be able to simulate real user login behaviors. So you probably need to have at least 500,000 user account if you want to do a serious job of crawling. And then you need to simulate how a real user should do. Otherwise, you'll be detected and your account will be terminated. So this will result in very high recall, but there will be a lot of noise. So in fact, subsequent step is that you need to do multilingual analysis. So the key part analysis of the key phrase extraction, name entity extraction. And so for key phrase, one approach is basically you need to look at long text as well as short text. And quick procedure is that we do syntactic and semantic analysis to identify potential lack of words that are likely to be key phrases. Then we do keyword generating analysis. Eventually, we extract those key phrases. And these key phrases are candidates for name entity. And for name entity, of course, we do a combination of pre-existing name entities. Supposing I'm working on the movie and TV industry, I would need to know who are all the people there. So I need in a way, I need to build a knowledge graph of movie and TV industry. And initial version of this knowledge graph, you can actually get it from all the website information. There are lots of information about this. And of course, the key research here is how do I enrich this information by adding new information, new relationship, and so on, semi-automatically. So the feature here is basically unigram, bigram, and then part of speech, and using some kind of machine learning approach. Entity relation, I guess right now the entity relation I show you are just called a Torrance entity relation. Right? The two entities appear in the same post, they will have a link, and then the entity that I mentioned more will have a bigger picture, bigger size, and the link will be thicker and things like that. But what there are other relations that we need to look at, second order relation and so on. Sentiment analysis, I think the key part is actually sentiment analysis at the event level and the sub-event level, so-called aspect level sentiment analysis, which is actually increasingly more important now. That people want to know what do people talk about me, different parts of the company, and their sentiments on different parts. So for example, on iPhone, people might like about the screen, people might like about battery life, but they don't like the price, but they still buy. So you need to figure out which aspects are most important to users. People might complain about a lot about products, but they might not be complaining about key aspects of the products. In fact, based on our research, actually the phone is about screen and prestige. If it's hotel, people complain about hotel, but hotel is all about location. People who pay $200 US, they will continue to pay $200 US, but they'll complain about price or cost. And then you need a clustering filter for noise. So actually here we employ text, social, and temporal relationship. So these are just more details. 4 factors we consider here. One is we perform analysis to basically extract the kind of text feature by doing language normalization and all this stuff. Secondly is location info. If this event is in St. Petersburg, then likely that the post has come from here or someone who is associated to here. If someone who is never been to here or never had any friends here, their posts are likely to be relevant. And the third part of course, social relations. Yeah, if I reply to someone who is talking about this post, then my post is likely to be relevant. And tweaking tendency over time, what is my behavior over the last few days? If I've been talking about St. Petersburg, then likely that what my posts are with some relevance to St. Petersburg will have a higher probability. So with that, you can string classifier and things like that to do all this. And of course, noise removal is all about spam or short text. And so here we actually have built a manually labeled data set from those so-called spam sites. And in fact, most of the social media sites will be what users will tag whichever is spam. So they have actually large database of so-called spam data set. And if you can get hold of this, then you can use that for training. And the feature, of course, is a standard one, lexical pattern. that part of speech and the social network relationship. Event detection, as I mentioned yesterday, the event detection way is basically we just do a kind of incremental clustering algorithm. Yeah, but the key part actually is one key part is actually name entity and visual concepts, and then you filter out noise, and then you use an incremental clustering algorithm to do the event detection, and then you further divide them into emerging and evolving events. I think there are lots of issues here. First of all, is how to do it live, how to extract relationship between events, and how to figure out which are emerging and evolving events. So these are still ongoing research. And finally is predictive analytics. Given an event, you want to detect whether it's going to be viral before they become viral. So the key characteristics here we look at is basically the rate of change of user. Actually, a lot of work basically look at if active influential users are involved, then this is likely to be viral. But this is one good indicator. But other indicator will be the rate of increase, rate of overlap between organization user and topic user, and then the keywords between topic users and organization users and so on. And these are the kind of various type of features. So from here we want to build a framework for viral message and viral event detection. And incidentally, this is one of the hot topics now in KDD, SIGA kind of conferences on the live event detection and prediction. And of course, the other aspect is the influential active user analysis. And finally, is about prescriptive analytics. I think just how I showed you a report. Report is the simplest form of transforming data into knowledge. I just simply put a few entities together. So it's kind of first order prescriptive analytics. But of course, the deeper part is that I need to really figure out. Supposing you tell me that this thing is going to be viral, but then of course the natural question is what can I do about it? So maybe can the system suggest any measure that I can look into that? So I'll talk a bit more about this later. Okay. So the key part about social media analytics, or basically any big data analytics, is we always start with data. All the early research about analysis. Analysis is I want to figure out who are the active users, what are the events, sub-events, what are the relationships. And of course, right now, a lot of work on prediction now. Yeah. How can I predict who is going to be an important user? How can I predict which post is going to be viral? And increasingly, people are starting to look at prescriptive. That means, what action can I take in the light of the knowledge that I know about certain events? So, in other words, actually, you are moving towards from analysis of what to analysis of why and how, which is kind of a much difficult problem. And of course, this kind of problem you cannot do in the general case, you have to do it in the very specific domains. And the last part is about information organization. Yeah, how do you mine structured data from multiple sources? I think we had some discussion yesterday that if we were to figure out the structure of data, we actually need to look at multi-source of data, all the way from more structured data like Wikipedia, blog, CQA, to the unstructured data like Twitter. Basically, Twitter doesn't give you much information. Twitter gives you social signals. And a lot of people who do analysis based on Twitter, actually they make a lot of assumptions. Actually they assume they know the information structure. So the Twitter signal comes in, it makes sense. Right? But assume that you know nothing, then you need to figure out what is the information structure. Information structure doesn't come from Twitter. Information structure has to come from higher level information sources. And from there you want to basically build the structure to organize the data. It's like events, sub-events that I was talking about. So here I'll just quickly run through. So the issue is domain structures, multi-source data with different characteristics. So supposing we're interested in a certain topic, supposing US election, you can get data from Wikipedia or blog, Yahoo Answers, Twitter, and forums. And so this is actually, you can look at this paper there. So our proposed framework is basically to do topic term identification from all these sources. And the key part is basically to identify the relationship between topics. Is this topic a higher level topic than this other topics? And then we generate a hierarchy. And then make use of Twitter and things like that to figure out which topic is hot, which topic is less popular and things like that. So there are lots of important topics, but people don't talk about it. Doesn't mean they are not important. Yeah. But some topics, if lots of people talk about it, actually they might not be that important. Okay. So basically we want to analyze information from blog, CQA, tweet, and things like that, and basically generate these structures. Yeah. So in short, basically we are basically trying to find given the topic A that we extracted, we have to figure out the relationship between A and B. And we can do that through search engine, Wikipedia, or WordNet, and things like that. This will give me different ordering. So I just talk about ordering part. So for example, if I'm doing about US election, given the entity Obama and policy, I want to know who is Obama part of policy or policy part of Obama. If you can do that, then I can organize them hierarchically. So I suppose if you just based on that, you will not have any info about that. So let's say given the web page, from the web page, I probably has more information to know that actually Obama is the one who tried to formulate the policy. And from the Wikipedia, I know quite certain that Obama is the one who actually formulated policy. So from this different analysis, I can actually figure out that the relationship from Obama to policy is 0.9, and then the other one is only 0.1. So from here, I can then build up probability in the direction between the different entities. What are the probability that they are in this direction or in this direction? And from which I can then build up the hierarchy. Say Obama is the topic, tax is part of it. Now given policy, what should policy be? So of course we can work out relationship between policy and tax, Obama and policy, and then come up with this relation, and so on. So from there you can actually kind of do an evaluation of topics over time. That in the early days of election, we only talk about these three things. Towards a few months later, these are the topics we talk about, and a few months later, towards the election, these are the things we talk about by looking at this whole evaluation. And with this, you can actually use it to support multi-video question answering. You can ask a question in text, it give you answers in images and video and so on. And I don't have time to get into this, but the other key part about information organization is so-called knowledge graph. So what I want to say is that the knowledge graph are usually built up manually based on existing knowledge, and then most of the research is figured out how to enrich the knowledge graph based on social interactions. Okay, and then of course you need a scalable infrastructures. Yeah, I will not talk about this today, but yeah, just to say that you need to have ability to do live processing and batch processing, and the ability to generate image index, text index, as well as a graph index, so that you can use it to support applications I showed you just now. Okay, finally about image, I guess this shows you that actually more and more people are posting images, and most of the images do not have relevant text. So you really need to do image analysis. And the key part about big data is that you got lots of this so-called noisy social tag data. If majority of the social tag is correct, based on the huge volume of so-called big data, we should be able to actually make some sense out of it. So actually a lot of research are basically looking into deep learning by looking at different aspects of, for example, this video. I want to look at the, in terms of entities, what are the entities appearing here? What are the motion here? And then what are the scenes appearing here? And I can fuse them together to basically help me to figure out the contents of the video. And so basically experimental is actually big multimodal deep learning architecture by combining object, scene, motion, and text features, and try to automatically discover mid-level attributes. Okay. So we run it on the 1 million data set, so these are the kind of some of the good results of us. You automatically discover that this is a topic of aeroplane and all the pictures about aeroplane. These are topic about people and all the pictures about people. Yeah. Of course, with this one, if we do it continually, and hopefully the system will become kind of more clever and clever and can learn by itself continuously. I think that's a key research part. And in fact, we need a lot of theoretical machine learning people to actually improve on this one. Okay, the other part, of course, in deep learning and multimedia, one key part is basically to look into embedding. Yeah, how do you combine all these features into lower dimensional space when the relationship between user, content, tag are kind of more transparent? Yeah. So here I just show you some results. So based on that, we can actually learn about image-image relation. Given this image, what are the related images? Given this text, what are the related texts? So from here, actually, you can see if I do walking, I can actually find images of walking, but I can combine entity, say walking plus girl, I get a much better kind of, or more precise kind of images. Of course, I show you the correct one. The image to text, text to text. And of course, I can expand it to different social images. For example, Pinterest, which is a popular platform, and the logo, product, and things like that. Yeah. So here I just kind of quickly move on a bit to talk about the vision technologies and its deployment. In fact, there are a big variety of vision technologies that are being deployed currently now in commercial products. Yeah. A lot of them are machine learning. A lot of them are machine learning, visual search. Basically they are this way. Basically visual search and machine learning kind of technologies. I just want to mention these are the companies that are related to vertical. In fact, most of the useful ones are in vertical domain. Vertical domain means they focus on just one domain. Say, I just do fashion, I just do home furnishing and so on. So these are the companies that are doing at least quite well recently. For example, Face Plus is a company in Beijing. They just focus on faces, and their business, of course, is to detect faces in the mobile environment to do verification that the person who is doing mobile banking is a real person. Cortical, Superfish, these are in basically in fashion kind of domain. VSense also in fashion. So I just kind of do a bit about VSense, which is a company set up by under our center. So it's about 2 years company. It has about 50% of the key e-commerce companies are the customers of this company. So basically, they offer visual search technologies. Right now, the company has 30 employees, 22 technical people, and support over 30 million paid images. And you can download one of those from Flipkart. Flipkart is the largest e-commerce company in India, which is using technology there for their visual search. Yeah, maybe I'll just show you quickly about this. Yeah, so this is a website. I guess there's a standard demo somewhere. This demo is not the best one, but I guess it's, you can actually take a look at it. So you can launch this demo. The key part now is basically you want to take an image and then search for products and then buy. That's a kind of so you can upload the image. Supposing you upload this image with this lady there. It takes a while. I guess hope it works. Yeah. So this lady, I guess, since there's only one lady, so there's no ambiguity. So I guess if you are probably interested in the dress, then you can go and find similar. Then all those dresses will come out. Similar one, I guess. So you can say, maybe I like more of this, I can find more similar one from other products. And so on. You can actually browse around also. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I hope you get an idea. I'll start the research. So I can upload an image. Supposing this lady. There's a small ballot box here actually. So if the lady is not what I'm interested in a handbag, of course you can tell the system that this is what I'm interested in. By default, they just do anything. Yeah. So this was kind of what the handbags that comes out here. So. Okay, so of course you can do, given online magazine, you can actually figure out what are the things of interest. Given a video, you can actually figure out what are the key objects in there, from which you can do in-object advertisement, affiliate marketing, and kind of things, and so on. Yeah. What I want to say is, most of the recent products are actually focusing on 5 vertical domains of fashion, home furnishing, products, surveillance, and finance. Actually, these are the kind of hot areas for visual technology applications. So most are based on image matching and annotation. In fact, visual recognition just started. Visual recognition means that given this one, I would have known that there's a handbag there, there's a dress there, there's a lady there, that kind of things. Yeah, and then the video actually is just starting. So if you want to do research into here, I think video is the part that you should actually get into quickly before it becomes hot. Okay, I'll just have 10 minutes, I guess. So I think I'll just quickly go through. So what is hot for next 5 years? I think the key part is the last 5 years, I think we focus on live, big data, and 3M. We support users' needs. We provide system to encourage users to create contents. So we call it co-creation of contents. Yeah. And then from research, we basically do social analytics and the analysis part to understand content, events, and users. I guess what has changed in the last 5 years, first of all, is video. I think if you look at the top 3 social media sites that are becoming very hot in the last 3 years, these are all started in 2012. Pinterest, Vine, Snapchat, Periscope, these are all the last 3-4 years. And I guess they're all based in the US, they all have more than 200 million users. And they're all about, these are about images, this is about short video of 6 seconds, this is about 10 seconds video, and this is about long video where people just share their long videos and people can go in and comments. Yeah. So, for example, Snapchat, we started in 2011, shared 10-second video. The reason that people are interested in it is because they can show their real-time messages to users instead of sending a message. I just take a video and send. I can use it to share my life story, so I can share 3 videos this morning. So by looking at these 3 videos, you know what happened. So these are being used by broadcast companies to basically share their live news. And the other part about this site is that the video will disappear after one viewing. So you generally view it once. So people feel that there's a privacy there. Second source, of course, is Periscope, which is basically a long everybody who wants to see. Right? And somehow this is very popular. Again, it's hot because it's live. I think keywords now is everything must be live. If it's not live, it's not going to be hot. Right? And then, of course, it's brought over by Twitter, so you can actually view it on Twitter. Okay, second part that has changed actually is live location analytics. In fact, sensor devices are everywhere now. People are wearing sensor device, people are carrying mobile phone. So actually, your location information is everywhere. So given this information, I can actually know where you are by looking at the location, visual, audio. Actually, I can exactly identify where you are, and so that we can do better location estimation and mobility. Third, of course, is live. I think I talked about live feed. With live, I think once you show things live, you must really interact with it live. So in fact, a lot of research actually come from there. You want to be able to shoot, share, and feedback live. Many examples, for example, home automation. In fact, most of the houses, maybe in China now actually, if someone presses a doorbell, the camera will take a picture of this person and then stream it right away to your mobile phone so you know who actually pressed the doorbell. Of course, these are just one example. Or your fridge is malfunction, you will send directly to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer will suggest to you whether you want to do a maintenance and kind of things. So actually, this gives you a lot of convenience, but of course your privacy, all these things are all at stake. So the key research here is that you want to be able to understand and reconstruct interesting places that you visited or interesting events that are happening around you, so that it's useful to you or to someone else. Fourth is the quality of structured data. I think the key difference between social media and web is that social media is just published, nobody controlled, right? If nobody controls, then the quality is always a problem. You see, 70% of user-generated contents are noise, and probably 50% of users are fake users. Right? So you need to figure out how to identify them. Are they machine users or they are real users? Is this about rumors or this is real? So this is likely to be a hot topic before you can talk about any analysis. And last one, of course, is co-creation and co-invention. With instant feedback, I want to know what you are interested in, not just to encourage you to create content, but also encourage you to give me feedback that are useful to me. Take one example, for example, GoPro, the camera. This product, once you buy, you put it on. If you don't do anything, it's online all the time. If I put it on, it's live. Then with live, actually a lot of commercial, social communities are created. People interested in cycling, probably they all share their live data together. And from the company's point of view of what they are, I can see that all these social communities are created. I can actually improve my products to sell this on you. So feedback to product design. And then you send the bootstrap new products. And so this whole cycle just keep on going. Of course, you can do it manually. Ideally, you want to do it automatically. The other one is home appliances. This is the example in China that if you buy an air filter, the company actually, if you don't do anything, this is live. Sending data to the company will know your living habits. If your filter is malfunction, the company will know about it. They will send you a request whether you want to replace it. And then if you say yes, they will come send someone to replace it for you. So everything automated. Very convenient, but of course, at your expense of your life, privacy. Product design, same thing. Of course, you can do it in government policy and things like how do you get feedback and then improve policy. So these are early stage examples on how social media can actually improve the whole process of governance of companies and countries. Six is offline and online integration. I think online data represents certain segments of population, whereas offline data will represent the majority. Well, I wouldn't say online is not majority, but online is basically certain segment. Could be the younger one and things like that. The elder one will usually not well. Right? So you need to combine both. One example my comments a lot about Apple phone. I might not be a user. I'm not even a customer. Right? So my comments is just general comments. Of course, there are certain e-commerce sites whereby only a customer can comment. So from there, you can actually have some estimation of who are the actual customers. And of course, you can also go to offline data, how much is the sales and demand for different cities, and you can use it to correlate the online data and offline data. Election of Singapore is another example where online data is very negative, but actually majority of users who will vote for government do not comment too much online. So actually you get the distorted views. Okay, I just want to say the big data is about life and deep at the same time. And the feedback mechanism is actually very, very important now. Yeah. And in business, I think we talk about B2C, B2B, but actually nowadays there's a new buzzword called C2B. From customers to business, how do you get that feedback back from end customers to the business itself? So there's a new kind of buzzword they're going to hear a lot more C2B rather than B2C. Yeah, and then of course the key technologies here are predictive and prescriptive analytics. Yeah. I think I'll just stop here and then move to conclusion. I think this one I'm going to do. Okay. So basically what I described is basically a live social observatory systems. We work on large scale live problem of impact, and then we want to monitor events that are happening in the city. So that's our aim. We started with monitoring Singapore and Beijing, but of course it's very hard to kind of limit to these two places. So we research under the Next Research Center, which is this logo. So we have over 40 researchers at all time, and we have 2 startup companies. I think just now I showed you one company which is on mobile visual search. We have another company which is similar to the first demo I gave you, which is basically live social analytics. We call it from unstructured data to actionable knowledge. So a summary here, the key challenges are deep analysis at entity and relation level, multi-model analysis, real-time analysis and inference. In fact, real-time is key, and prescriptive is another key. But how to do that actually is not clear, and it's still very early stage. And of course, we want to link it to social understanding of events. So in fact, we would like to work with social scientists, and all this analysis touches on a lot about privacy and transparency, which we need to look at. And of course, the other one is innovative applications, social wellness that we're working on, smart city, e-government. Singapore is actually very big in smart city and e-government, and of course, I think I have some commented education, because more online education are actually another key aspects of social media as well. Okay, so I'll just stop here. Yeah, I welcome any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. So, do you have any questions? I guess it's a very interesting topic. Actually cover everything we are doing in our lab. Yeah, to go deep in each of them, you need additional couple of hours just to roughly describe it.
I didn't talk about mobility, I didn't talk about wellness, but these are some of the areas that we are working on.
So any questions?
First, thanks for the very nice talk. A question which concerns the election of today and even that of the previous day. Concerning the terrible facts that we know happened yesterday in Paris, how do you think that this kind of technology can be exploited in the field of security and of prevention of issues for security and for managing of emergency in real time? Thanks.
Managing of what?
Managing emergencies in
Yeah, in fact, there are lots of examples of people using tweeters and things like that to know about emergencies and so on. Yeah. So of course that can be used. Yeah. It's just the structures of the event, location, everything, actually, a lot of this knowledge are implicitly assumed in a lot of these works. And to make use of Twitter well, actually, you need to actually look at other sources, get the kind of structures of the events, and then Twitter will come in very useful. Because to me, Twitter actually provides more social signals than the content itself. And then second aspect, of course, is we talk about kind of privacy, that kind of security and privacy, that kind of thing. So in fact, one big area that we want to work on will be the privacy part. In fact, we want to build a system that can. In fact, 5 years ago there was a system on the web. You can actually go log in, go on, put in your user ID, then the system will tell you what I know about you. So in fact, this kind of system is actually has very large impact because you share information but you don't know actually what do people know about you. And by knowing what do people know about you actually makes you a lot more careful. And of course from research point of view is that we want to suggest to user that what should you do to prevent some of the key information from being shared. And of course in social media a lot of time you don't the information is shared by your friends. Actually, your privacy is leaked by your friends. So these are even other kind of problems. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, any other questions?
Thank you very much. The question is a bit philosophical since we're talking about the future. But anyway, nowadays, the speed of developing and creating new social media platforms is extremely fast. Because as you said, there are new platforms which are popular and more popular. So we can expect that in 5 years there will be a lot of different platforms, new which will extremely speed get popular. So my question is, how do you think will it ever be possible to process all this data and to catch the new trends in social development, social communication, and so on? And the second question is, what are the steps which are referring to process the new free media in that's from a different test, and we do have to do a video, which one of them is white, and second.
Yeah, I guess that's a very hard question, I mean. But I would like to say from academic point of view, we should look. First of all, we should look at the fundamentals. I mean, the multimedia analysis done for the last 20 years. And I believe that we'll still be doing for the next 20 years. The difference is that the multimedia content has changed. 20 years ago is mainly images, high quality images. Nowadays it's a lot of user-taken images which are low quality and text. Increasingly you get lots of video now. So actually the speed of processing, the ability to handle noisy data, the ability to handle user, tag and multimedia visual content together. It's become it has been a core technology and will always be a core technology that you should be looking at. And in terms of social media analytics, I think ability to basically analyze the content at the entity level and move up to semantic level to figure out relationship between entities and so on. Because if you are able to do that, then a lot of applications that talk about topic detection and all these things cannot be done quite naturally. And of course, increasingly, I see now is multilingual, multimodal. These are the multilingual, multimodal, so these are the core technology that you should be looking at. Yeah. And with all this, I think we can actually should be handle most of the changes. Because I think this is an area where the timeline between research and the commercial deployment actually is usually very, very short. Within 3 to 4 years. So we have to move very fast. But my suggestion is that we should focus on the, as a company, we should focus on core technologies. As a company, of course, they want to move as fast as they can. And if we handle the core technologies well, I think we should handle any of the changes that are coming.
How many people work with this project? How many people? And also about your research center, what different departments or maybe groups work in this center and their topics?
That's a good question. The project currently is run as a technical project. So there are about 5 professors and 2 professors from Tsinghua are involved in this. So people are looking at different components. There are people who are looking at NLP. I look more into the multimedia, social media. And so basically in the last 5 years, we divided 5 parts. One is basically social media analytics. One component is on multimedia analysis. The component is NLP. And the 4th component is back-end streaming database, and so on. But going forward, I think we'll be looking at 5 again. Basically, the first one will be social media analytics, but we are looking into more and more advanced analytics. Secondly is multimedia, but focusing more on video. Third will be on applications like wellness and fantasy, as well as mobility. So each subgroup we expect to have 5 to 10 people there. And so if you add together, there should be about 50 people involved in these projects.
How many people totally? How many people?
About 50 and over. Maybe, I think people who really do the work, I guess professors don't do the work, right? People who do the work are 20 PhD students. We have about 5 to 8 postdocs, 5 research engineers, and then another 20 interns. So actually you add together is about 50 people who do the work. For me, I just do the talking, I don't do the work.
Other questions?
Thank you for your overview. And I have a question about the problem that was mentioned that a lot of data doesn't generate the noise. And writing that there is spam, but there is also a rumor, which is not well known. And the question is, what's the method of measuring the messages are not available, for some research topic? How to measure if there is rumor and not available, or it's available opinion?
So your question is how to differentiate spam rumors from the real information?
Yes, if a user posts a message, how do you distinguish is it available?
I guess you can look at it on the web. How do people know that it's spam? Actually, in fact, the key part about knowing it's spam is actually content plays a small part. The key part is the distribution structures. If it's a spammer, actually I want to distribute it to a wide audience. In fact, to a lot of people that they do not know. Someone who is not a real user, they will try to make friends with everybody, but they have very few. They have very few friends themselves. So these are kind of some easy way, but of course, the rumors actually In fact, most of the rumors they copy images from somewhere. In fact, one easy way is to say this phone number is repeated from somewhere. This image is copied from somewhere. And, a lot of technology based on this one actually can use to detect whether it's a real or rumors. But of course, as I talk, the people who do rumors also they know about it, so they keep improving. I think the key part is user network behavior and a bit of content computation analysis.
So just some parameters that entered by hand, and there is no some keyframes so that you can the net you can use to count more precise if some if some messages are available, you can just see and try different parameters and see some metrics like number of messages, friends, and so on.
Yeah. So the parameters will be, I guess, I mean, as I said, the key part is about user networks. A real user will have a balanced number of followers and followees and friends. A machine user will have they follow lots of people, but they have very few people following them. And they, so actually, these are, you can actually enter all these parameters when they are active, how often they send out a friend request, and how many people actually request them to be friends and things like that. And also the content they send, how much of the contents are duplicates of some other contents, how much of the contents are actually created by them. So a combination of these features actually, you can use that to basically develop a reasonably good rumors and fake user detector. But of course, as I mentioned, when we crawl data, we also need to simulate the real users. So in fact, these things are actually being evolved all the time. You need to know your real user behavior so that you can simulate real users. You also need to know real user behavior so you can identify who's the fake users.
Okay, any other questions? I guess I have a question. Could you please briefly clarify the actual usefulness of the sources? I mean, not the text source, because it's a quite big source of data for us, or us open it. On the other sources, like video and image, in the industry, in the actual application, for example, for event detection, for topic detection, is it really very useful to use the other data modalities, or in fact it's what's your opinion?
Yeah, I think in the past we don't use video and images because we don't have capability of handling that. But so there are two trends. I think first of all, nowadays we believe that we have better capability now. Secondly, it's also the users are increasingly sending more video and images now. I think if you look at Snapchat, look at Vine, with 300 million users, most of them don't type a single word. So actually, you just rely on text analysis, you just can't get information. So to your question on which is reliable, again, it's probably related to the previous question. You need to figure out how real are these users, and by getting the user network, you can also figure out who are the more authoritative users. Those who are more authoritative, they tend to be more careful about their behavior, so they are more careful about the information they send, so tend to be more authentic. And the fourth angle, of course, is that social media is just one source. If there's a post to say that, I don't know, eating garlic is bad for you, and then everybody follows. Of course, you need to go to other sources like medical source or news source and things like that to verify that this information whether it's correct or not. So actually, in the true kind of social media analysis, you should not be just looking at social media. You should also be looking at the other online and offline data as well. I think that's a part that I want to emphasize over and over again, that social media is not everything.
Thank you.
Do you have any education in university? Maybe you have own department, education. What activity related to education in your center?
You mean activities and education department.
I understand. Your center, research center, but I ask about education, teaching for people. Young people.
One of the collaborators of this center is actually NUS Tsinghua. Actually, we're actually moving into more, the online mass education environment. So the one key part of research, one of my colleagues is looking on is basically to look at how users learn in the mock environment. So to do that, I guess we have to look at the behavior of users online on the mock systems, and of course later on I think we will be looking into the social media part as well. So these are done by researchers. We don't have educationalists involved in this yet. So in fact, this is the part that in our second stage. We are basically technology person, I think, to be frank. So now we have developed the system, and we would like to get education people, sociologists, kind of people to come in to tell us what are the real problems, what are the real interesting analysis that we should be looking at, and involve our technology to help each other.
In fact, we are organizing a couple of joint conferences which are related. It's connect together the social sciences and computer science. So people actually can learn from each other to see the problem from a different view and approaches it in completely different ways. They're working in teams together during summer schools, winter schools, attending the conferences. One of them is a web science conference that was held in July. And except this, the system that you just see is actually planned to be educational system in the future. So different universities can work with this data in a collaborative manner, analyze it, and again, it's so cross-disciplinary research. And of course, Prof. Cho is doing several modules in universities. So the thing that he taught today in 1 hour is supposed to be taught for 1 year. 3 times per week, that's why it's not too much technical, but I guess it still was enjoyable enough, so hope all of you enjoy it. So here you see the web page and the project he introduced just now. Actually, we are looking for some talents who would like to participate in further development, because the project grows and we need more people who want to work with us, who are excited with the topic as we are. And also, a couple of days before, we were doing tutorials in a merged research project, and several research projects is related to this area. And we are also looking for interns who want to join us, and as well as research assistants and so on, so on. So, if you are interested, first you can go to see our poster in the entrance. All information is there, and you can go to this web page, or you can just contact Prof. Shoa or me and talk directly. Here is also one more person. Can you please stand up? Yeah, so he's actually in charge of all the settlement about the internships and so on. So if you want to have some concrete questions, you can just discuss with him. I guess we can put our hands together. Thank you, Prof. for your talk. Now it's break, right? Yeah, so have a nice lunch. Thank you. Yeah.